My friends, it finally happened. The Detroit Lions have officially locked up one of the cornerstones of their defense, as Aiden Hutchinson has agreed to a 4-year contract extension that keeps him in Detroit for the long haul. This is not just another deal, it's a statement that this organization rewards its own, takes care of its players, and builds a culture that other NFL franchises should be paying close attention to. The exact financial details haven't been revealed yet, but make no mistake, this is going to be a massive contract. Expect Hutchinson to become one of, if not the highest paid defensive ends in the entire league among non-quarterbacks. And honestly, he's earned every cent of it. So go ahead and smash that like button to show some love, and let's do this together. Think about what this means for the Lions. They've already extended Penei Sewell, Alan McNeil, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes, and now Hutchinson joins that list. Kirby Joseph and Jameson Williams are still on rookie deals, but the trend is clear. Detroit takes care of its own. If you're drafted here and you perform, you don't have to worry about your future, you'll get paid. It's the kind of organizational consistency that players across the NFL are starting to notice. Other teams are dealing with holdouts, rookie contract drama, and messy negotiations. Meanwhile, the Lions are quietly running one of the most functional, player-respected operations in football. This is the new era in Detroit. From Brad Holmes to Dan Campbell, this front office has completely rewritten what it means to play for the Lions. They've built trust, not just between players and coaches, but within the entire locker room. Every contract extension reinforces that message. This team is united, this team is stable, and this team is here to stay. When Holmes and Campbell tell players that performance will be rewarded, they mean it. You play hard, you give everything for the logo, and Detroit will make sure you're taken care of. That's how you build loyalty. That's how you build a winning culture. And Hutchinson? You couldn't ask for a better example of what Detroit football is all about. The guy plays with relentless energy, discipline, and leadership. Even coming off that brutal injury last year, he never complained, never lost his edge. He put in the work, came back strong, and proved that he's the heart of this defense. The timing of this extension is perfect. The Lions are entering their bye week on a high note, and now one of their biggest offseason priorities has officially been checked off. No distractions, no uncertainty, just business handled the right way. It's also worth noting how smart this move is financially. Holmes and the front office are being strategic with their cap management, rolling money over, and ensuring the team has flexibility for the future. Paying Hutchinson now locks in a generational talent before the market inflates even more. The defensive end market is only going to climb, so getting this done early could end up saving Detroit money long term. They understand timing, value, and the importance of rewarding their stars before outside noise creeps in. Now, the attention naturally turns to who's next. You can bet players like Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jack Campbell are in line for extensions down the road. The core is young, talented, and under contract for years to come. That's how championship windows stay open. When you draft well, develop your players, and pay the ones who deliver, there's no window, there's sustainability. And that's exactly what Detroit is building right now. But here's the thing, not everyone will stay. That's just the reality of the salary cap. There will be some tough decisions in the future. Guys like Alex Anzalone might not return after this year, even with how valuable he's been as a leader. Players like Sam Laporta could become cap casualties depending on how things unfold, though his talent makes that a difficult scenario to imagine. Still, that's the price of success in the NFL. You can't keep everyone, but if Detroit keeps handling business like this, extending its core and rewarding effort over hype, they're going to remain competitive for a long time. And just look at how the rest of the league views this. Other organizations see what's happening in Detroit. They see players getting paid, treated fairly, and sticking around. There's no drama, no holdouts, no dysfunction. When was the last time you could say that about the Detroit Lions? This is what a well-run franchise looks like. You can trace it all back to leadership, from ownership's trust in Holmes and Campbell to the consistency in the locker room. The message is clear. Detroit is no longer a stop on the way to somewhere else. Detroit is the destination. Now that Hutchinson's deal is done, the Lions can focus on the field, knowing one of their foundational pillars is locked up. The fans can breathe easy, and the team can keep building without distractions. This is more than just a contract. It's a reflection of everything this organization has become under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, loyal, organized, and relentlessly committed to its players. Because if you ask me, there's no question about it. Aiden Hutchinson embodies everything this franchise stands for: grit, consistency, leadership, and relentless effort. The kid came into Detroit as a hometown hero, but he's turned himself into the face of the defense, a cornerstone of this entire rebuild. Paying him wasn't just about stats or production, it was about rewarding character, culture, and commitment. And that's something the Lions have made their standard. When you look at Hutchinson's body of work, it's clear why this deal was a no-brainer. He's been double-teamed, chipped, held, and still finds ways to impact games, not only through sacks but pressures, run stops, and sheer disruption. He sets the tone every snap, and you can feel it. His presence lifts everyone around him, from the defensive line to the secondary. He's not just another edge rusher, he's the emotional heartbeat of this defense. And now, he's being paid like it. This move also sends a powerful message to the entire locker room. When players see a guy like Hutchinson get rewarded for doing things the right way, it reinforces everything Dan Campbell preaches. The message becomes tangible. If you buy in, if you give everything to this program, you'll be taken care of. No politics, no games, just respect. It's the same approach that got Sewell and St. Brown their extensions earlier this year, and it's building a foundation that feels bulletproof. The Lions aren't chasing short-term success. They're building something sustainable, something that can contend year after year. And let's not overlook what this means for the rest of the league. You can bet there are free agents watching closely. When players talk about where they want to go, it's not just about money anymore, it's about environment, stability, and how organizations treat their people. The Lions have quietly become one of the most attractive destinations in football because they've proven they're not just rebuilding, they're building the right way. You look around the NFL and see chaos, holdouts, contract disputes, front offices making emotional decisions. But in Detroit, there's order, there's patience, planning, and principle. Brad Holmes has managed the cap with precision, rolling money over and structuring deals that make sense long-term. And by getting Hutchinson's deal done now, before the market spikes again, he's preserved flexibility for the next wave of stars, Branch, Gibbs, and Campbell, to get theirs. This isn't a one-year wonder team. This is a franchise learning how to win, how to sustain, and how to reward excellence without breaking the balance. And that's what makes this moment so exciting for fans. We've seen decades where talent came and went, where the Lions couldn't hold on to their best players or failed to develop the ones they drafted. That's over now. This front office has flipped that script completely. The best players want to stay. They want to be a part of this culture. And that's something you can't buy. It's something you earn. Hutchinson's extension is proof that Detroit has earned it. So what comes next? Well, all eyes will be on how this move affects the next phase of the roster. Some tough choices are inevitable. Alex Anzalone, for example, might be one of the veterans who doesn't return after this year, not because he's underperforming, but because Detroit's youth movement is real, and contracts need balance. Montgomery's deal, sitting at around $10 million next year, will likely stay intact because of his value to the offense. But again, everything comes down to fit, value, and priorities. And the priorities are clear. Lock up your leaders. Build around your core. Keep your culture intact. Hutchinson's extension checks every one of those boxes. It's not just a signing, it's a declaration that Detroit is here for the long run, not just for a playoff push or a flash-in-the-pan season. This is a franchise committed to staying competitive, staying disciplined, and staying true to what's made them rise in the first place. It's funny to think back to just a few years ago when nobody believed Detroit could become a destination. The idea that players would want to be here, to build here, to stay here, felt almost impossible. Now it's reality. This organization is functional, respected, and, maybe for the first time in decades, feared in the right way. They're no longer the team trying to prove they belong. They do belong. And locking up Hutchinson is just another step in solidifying that truth. By the time the full contract details drop, the numbers won't really matter. What matters is that the Lions have secured a foundational piece of their identity, both on the field and off it. Aiden Hutchinson isn't just a defensive end, he's the face of the new Detroit Lions. And now that his future is set, the question becomes simple. What's next? Because if Holmes and Campbell continue at this pace, drafting, developing, and extending their best, this team won't just be a contender. They'll be a powerhouse for years to come. So tell me, Lions fans, how do you feel seeing this new era unfold right in front of us? Are you all in on what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are building in Detroit? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, smash the like to show your pride, and I'll see you in the next one. We've got more Lions talk coming your way. And as we wrap up this conversation, let's take a second to appreciate just how far the Detroit Lions have come, not just on the field, but as an organization. For so many years, Detroit was the cautionary tale of the NFL. Talented players leaving for better situations, leadership that lacked direction, and fans who could only dream of long-term success. But now, it feels like the dream is finally turning real. Look around, this is a complete culture shift. The team doesn't panic when adversity hits. They don't rely on one superstar to carry them. Every player knows their role, and every coach trusts their guys. It's a team built on accountability, not excuses. And that's the reason why extensions like Hutchinson's mean so much. It's more than just about locking up a player, it's about locking in a mindset, a message that says, we're not going anywhere. When Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell first came in, they talked about grit, patience, and building something that would last. A lot of people rolled their eyes, but now we're watching it pay off, move by move. Paying Sewell, paying St. Brown, paying Hutchinson. These aren't just transactions, they're building blocks. And every one of them reinforces the identity of this franchise, tough, loyal, and unshakably unified. It's also fascinating how this team has managed to balance emotion and business so effectively. In the NFL, you usually see front offices that are either too cold, treating players like replaceable parts, or too sentimental, making emotional decisions that hurt the team long term. Detroit, though, seems to have found the perfect middle ground. They reward performance but remain strategic. They honor loyalty but still protect the future. It's a rare balance, and it's one of the reasons players around the league are paying attention. And now that Hutchinson's deal is done, the focus will naturally shift to the younger stars developing behind him. Brian Branch is emerging as one of the most versatile defensive backs in football, a player who can play safety, corner, and even drop into the box like a linebacker. His time will come. Same with Jahmyr Gibbs, who's already proving to be one of the most dynamic offensive weapons in the league. Jack Campbell is starting to look like a foundational linebacker, the kind of guy who can wear the green dot for years to come. That's what makes this extension so exciting. It doesn't just celebrate what Hutchinson is, but what this entire core can be. It's the foundation for something bigger, a blueprint for how you sustain success. You draft well, you develop well, you pay well. That's the cycle every good team dreams of, and the Lions are finally living it. Fans have every reason to feel proud right now. This isn't the same old Lions.